Welcome viewers to the Saturday, February 10th edition of 284 News. I'm Jaka Wooding, bringing you our top stories from this week. Thank you so much for joining us. A jury on Thursday afternoon found Andrew Foy, former Premier of the Virgin Islands, guilty of conspiring with former Managing Director of the BVI Ports Authority, Olivine Maynard, and her son, Kadeem Maynard, to transport large amounts of cocaine through the British Virgin Islands ports as part of a multi-million-dollar cocaine deal made with an informant of the Drug Enforcement Administration. The highly anticipated trial began on Monday, January 29, 2024, in a Miami court after much anticipated postponements. Foy was charged with several counts of drug smuggling, money laundering, and racketeering after him and Maynard were arrested at a Miami airport in April 2022. Foy has been remanded to prison. His sentencing date is set for April 29, 2024. Meanwhile, at a press conference earlier on Friday, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley acknowledged the verdict and offered prayers to the family of the former Premier during this challenging time.
The government of the Virgin Islands has noted the verdict, which was reached today in the case before the Miami, or yesterday, in the case before the Miami Federal Court involving former Premier Andrew Foy. The government and people of the Virgin Islands respect the role of the court in the administration of justice. As a jurisdiction, the Virgin Islands is committed to good governance and upholding the highest standards of integrity in public life. We will continue the ongoing process of strengthening the relevant systems and institutions of government to ensure that the integrity of the territory is maintained and our international reputation upheld. We acknowledge the impact of the verdict on the family. Let us keep them in our prayers.
As the verdict of the former Premier was announced on Thursday, we took to the streets on Friday morning to see how residents felt about the verdict and its impact on the country. Ron Grant was on the ground and filed this report.
Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands, the House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands to be exact, a place where former Premier of the Virgin Islands, Andrew A. Foy, once served. Foy served in that capacity for decades as the 1st District Representative. He was yesterday found guilty on all charges related to smuggling and racketeering. He is to be sentenced on April 29 and faces up to life imprisonment and a $10 million fine. We took to the streets of the Virgin Islands to get the sentiments of persons across the community, many of whom who did not want to speak, many of whom still support Foy on their sentiments regarding his sentencing and the impact it has had on the British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, the whole Andrew Foy thing, I think, is very unfortunate. I think that he should have been more careful about the relationships he had with people in his circle. But to be honest, I don't really follow up on it because, to each them own. I just mind my own business, and whatever people choose to get involved in with their life is their business. So, I wish the best for him. I hope that he could somehow, some miracle, some way, come back home safely. But to each them own, I wish him the best.
As we heard the news on the situation with our ex-premier, Mr. Honorable Andrew Foy, well, some of the time news hit us very hard and it saddened us. So right now we can go into deep prayer for him, at least for the sentencing, and making sure that it's something that is fair and just, and will bring him home as soon as possible. We're praying for you, Honorable Andrew Foy.
My take on the Honorable Andrew Foy case is, my whole thing was, I didn't see him getting off of the whole thing. I always say when the U.S. wants you, they'll get you. No matter what you do, they're going to find a way to get you. So a lot of people might have said, oh, he's going to get off, and I don't see. And then the other day, Miss Maynard, they had her testifying against him, and that was the last nail in the coffin. and you see how quick the trial was. All the putting off and putting off and putting off. You see the couple days it lasted, and the jury didn't even lasted too long. They already had their mindset. And to me, another thing was, we always say that when the jury is made up of the one's peers. And I said yesterday, which one of those persons on that jury was made up of Virgin Islanders? So I don't understand how these jurors was his peers. So, but it is what it is. He got guilty, and we will move on. As I just said, this too shall pass. And he's not the first, and he's not going to be the last. So that's my two cents on that. Thank you.
I know it's hard in the BVI right now, what's happening with the Premier, the former Premier of the Virgin Islands. Yes, it is hard on the people in the BVI. It's a little shaken up, but we all have to get over it. We all make mistakes, and we got to learn from it. Especially young people that are coming up here in the BVI. Be careful what you're doing, especially in your country. So, what I will say, for now, it is a shook up, yes. But we learn from it. We're gonna make a difference. It's an eye-opener BVI, and not just us alone, but the world. Because it's not easy when you put your hope and your trust in someone to keep the country go forward, and this is what happened. So I say my little 2 words, that's that.
Yes, I know nothing about Andrew Foy, and I would never ever know anything about it.
In other news, an armed robbery took place on Friday morning at a local jewelry store in Roadtown. Ron Grant has the details.
Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands, Roadtown, the capital to be exact. We are at the scene where an armed robbery took place in broad daylight early this morning, February 9th, Friday. Of course, investigations are still on the way. Video footage seen armed men entering a jewelry store. We'll have more as the story unfolds. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has confirmed an armed robbery occurred this morning at the Aladdin store on Fleming Street in Roadtown, Tortola. Details are still developing regarding the incident. However, there are unconfirmed reports from persons nearby that gunshots may have been fired during the robbery. Video circulating on social media shows a lone gunman standing guard outside the store at the time of the incident. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force have not confirmed if any shots were fired or if there were any injuries sustained during the robbery. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force is expected to provide further confirmed details and an official statement as the investigation progresses.
No, they're right there, one at the door. Why you supposed to target police? But somebody on the phone, this gunman for true, young boy. What the hell? And one at the door. This is crazy. So one at the door looking out. Yeah, not over the police is scared. But he watching the man them on the store. Yeah, he watching for them. The man know there's somebody that have the car. This one night in hand. Oh God. And the man know. See what he got. This one will get clear. I want you in Israel or no? So I move. So that's one. That's two. Three of them. Four. Okay, watch it, Billy. Get a plate. It's a Kia. Get a plate. It's right here. Don't say by a Kia Soul.
And viewers, with that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Holmes on the fake, little flip, McKinnon, gonna walk in, touchdown, Kansas City.
Rice on the move, deep block by Marquez, that is a Kansas City touchdown.
McCaffrey up the middle, inside the 10, a stiff arm at the 5, and in for the touchdown. Good blocking, left side, cuts up the field, flying towards the end zone, he's in, touchdown San Francisco.
Super Bowl 58, 49ers, Chiefs. Catch all the action on CCT Live.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here. My name is Kamal Haynes. Most of you know me from 284 News, but now you get to see me in a different light on my very own show called Health is Wealth. We have Joel Turnbull.
I don't want you to arch your back when you're pulling down.
Milton McLean.
First of all, right, your footwork.
Steve Augustine.
You did a pretty hard workout today, so perhaps...
And as you can see, it's actually...
Alonzo Boynes.
Taekwondo.
Adam Murrows.
I'll speak as if you're an absolute beginner.
I am an absolute beginner.
You are an absolute beginner.
And Seth Graham.
It bites. It will bite.
Get your water, get your fruits and veggies, and experience a wealth of knowledge about getting healthy.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Following Friday's brazen daylight armed robbery of a local jewelry store in the heart of Roadtown, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley expressed his grave disappointment with the incident, which he termed to be an act of selfishness. The Premier, like many residents across the territory, was shocked to hear the news of the event, which took place minutes before a scheduled press conference on Friday.
Extremely disappointed, of course, that that such a brazen, criminal act would have taken place. And of course, our thoughts and prayers are also with those persons who was affected by that traumatic experience. And when Minister Rutley was here, we did bring up the issue of crime. Given that this is a responsibility of the governor, you would have heard Governor Bruce say at his swearing in that this is one of his top priorities is security of the country. We know we have a challenge and that we have to address. We know that this is a challenge that can have an impact on our economy, has a challenge that can have an impact on our sense of security as individuals. And we know that we have to ensure that we are able to meet this challenge.
Dr. Wheatley said such acts are inexcusable in the BVI and extremely selfish and are done by individuals who choose not to earn an honest living.
I think that these criminal acts are extremely selfish acts by individuals who've lost their way, individuals who want the fast money. They don't want to work hard for a living. There are many persons in here working hard for a living, busting their behinds to put food on the table for their families. And there's some individuals who want to benefit from others' hard work. They just want to take what others have worked hard for. And it's something that we cannot excuse as a society. So I think we have to examine our own values as a society, how we value material possessions, how we value some of this flashy image that persons are celebrated for in many instances.
At the next National Security Council meeting, Premier Wheatley says he intends to hold His Excellency Governor Daniel Bruce, who is responsible for security in the BVI, accountable to put measures in place to reverse crime in the territory.
In National Security Council, we will certainly hold the governor. We also hold the minister, of course, accountable to putting measures in place to ensure we're able to meet this challenge. But I'll add that we all have a part to play as well. We have to search within ourselves, within our families, how we raise our children. Of course, we have to ensure we have integrity within our law enforcement agencies. We have to ensure that we ourselves don't promote an ideology that crime is okay. Let's say, for instance, some persons say that the economy is not doing well, so that justifies persons going out there and committing crime.
In other news, Minister for Financial Services, Labor and Trade, the Honorable Lorna Smith, OBE, recently provided an update on the implementation of a digital portal for work permit processing in the BVI. Initially, the government pursued a specialized platform just for work permits, which cost the territory $41,000. However, Minister Smith revealed that they have now procured a more comprehensive labor management system from Janovation Solutions, Inc. The new system covers a full scope of labor needs rather than just permits. It is expected to go live by June this year. While the expanded system came at no additional cost beyond the original $41,000, Minister Smith shared that annual fees for software and maintenance will be $120,000 paid from the public purse.
The initial phase of implementing a digital platform for work permit processing occurred in 2021, during which a prototype software was deployed. Unfortunately, this pilot project was discontinued because of various capacity constraints within the Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Mr. Speaker, building upon the insights gained from the design and rollout of the original prototype, the Ministry of Financial Services, Labor and Trade has procured comprehensive labor management software along with transition management support services. This software will address both workforce management and work permitting functions. Government has reached agreement with the firm of Janovation Solutions, Inc. to provide these services. The 2021 work permit application system prototype incurred an initial cost of $41,000, while my ministry incurred no additional expenses directly related to acquiring this comprehensive labor management system. The necessary software, maintenance, and support services will cost $120,000 annually until the Department of IT has developed sufficient capacity to provide them in-house.
Janovation Solutions, Inc. is also currently contracted for an additional $89,500 to facilitate training and a transition of local staff to using the new digital system between January and July 2024.
To ensure a smooth and effective implementation of the labor management system, the government has contracted the same Janovation Solutions, Inc. from January to July of this year. They will provide transition management services to guide the Department of Labor and Workforce Development through a transformation process, optimizing and modernizing its operations. The total cost of this engagement is $89,500, inclusive of reimbursable expenses. Mr. Speaker, I would like to underscore the Ministry's unwavering commitment to ensuring that the digital platform for work permit processing is not only effective and efficient, but that it's also capable of meeting the diverse needs of all stakeholders, including employers, employees, and the Department of Labor and Workforce Development.
Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Vincent Wheatley, has revealed that substantial progress is being made with the drafting of a sexual offences bill, with plans to have the legislation laid in the House of Assembly by September 2024. Wheatley was at the time responding to a question posed in the House of Assembly by Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Stacey Mather. Mather's question was centered around the ministers providing an update on whether progress was being made by the government regarding sexual offences legislation in the territory and a sexual offences registry. While noting that the legislation is at a stage to soon commence public consultations on the proposals, Minister Wheatley also informed the public of 7 supporting bills that have been drafted.
Madam Speaker, the Attorney General's Chambers received the drafting instructions in February of 2020, and I'm happy to report that we were recently advised by Chambers that in drafting a sexual offences bill, 7 supporting bills were consequently drafted, and the Ministry should be in receipt of same in the coming weeks for our review. Following this, we will reevaluate stakeholders. Following this, we will engage relevant stakeholders to garner feedback on the tenets of the proposed legislation. All things considered, we aim to have the bill approved and laid on the table of this Honorable House of Assembly by the third quarter of 2024.
Wheatley, who presides over the 9th District, also provided details on the scope of the legislation and how it stands to make an impact on sexual offense crimes once committed.
Substantial efforts have been made towards the drafting and implementation of a sexual offences bill. This includes the submission and approval of a legislative brief to the Cabinet of the Virgin Islands in September of 2019. The Sexual Offences Bill will seek to provide a gender-sensitive legal framework relating to a broad range of sexual crimes and provide adequate measures for minimizing secondary traumatization, mentoring and tracking of sexual offenders following their reintroduction into society. It will also address implementation, monitoring, and devaluation arrangements, investigation and prosecution procedures, legal proceedings, evidence and sentencing, and provide protection, support, and assistance to complainants and survivors. The Act will bring the Virgin Islands in line with international best practices for sexual offense legislation.
Deputy Speaker Mather said he was pleased to be informed on the progress being made towards the legislation and thanked the government for taking the matter seriously.
Madam Speaker, my colleagues on the other side are making me smile today. Minister, I want to thank you for that, because the role that I play outside of this House of Assembly, I do see predators that have been convicted and who walk around, and our children, you know, we need to know what is going on. People do get reformed, I'm not saying so, but I do think our public needs to be informed, and I thank you for taking that very seriously.
And viewers, of that, we take a quick word from our sponsors. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of it then. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Listen.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. The BVI Asia Abroad Scholarship Program is one that continues to benefit young Virgin Islanders and ultimately the territory, as it provides educational opportunities in critical areas that meet the demand of key industries in the BVI. Ms. Zaira Wheatley, Assistant Secretary of the International Affairs Secretariat, spoke about the amazing opportunity in a recent interview with 284 Media.
So to start off, it's a three-way partnership program. So the government funds part of the studies. Then you have free tuition from universities in Asia, and then the private sector also provides some financial support. Currently, we have 32 offers in bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs, and of course, language studies across 10 universities. And those universities cover 5 countries, which include Macau, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, and Taiwan.
Beautiful. Now, you mentioned, Ms. Wheatley, about, of course, the essentially life-changing opportunity that the scholarship offers. Tell us about really the impact that this will be having on are students who will be returning home upon completion and being able to contribute to the fabric of our society?
Well, one of the good things about the program is that the subjects of study are focused towards the labor needs of the BVI. So of course, there's the immediate impact of focusing on the needs of the territory's development and growth. And then of course, because Asia is a bustling, growing and very technological focus region, they also benefit from the experience of having to hone their skills and studies in such a diverse place. But I'm sure some of the students who actually participate in the program and study in some of these places can speak a bit more to their experiences and the uniqueness that it has to offer to future participants.
She also shared the details on eligibility requirements.
So first of all, for eligibility for the undergraduate program, you need to have a high school diploma or working towards your sixth form qualification. So you could either have completed your high school diploma, and your sixth form diploma, or working towards attaining any one of those. And then for the postgraduate, you need to have a bachelor's degree in the field of study or something closely related. Of course, the scholarship is free tuition, which is one of the main attractive packages of the program. And then successful candidates are then eligible for housing assistance, travel, and living assistance as well. Just pause for a moment. And in terms of the application process, I always encourage persons to email studyinasia@bvihongkongoffice.com.hk. That's studyinasia@bvihongkongoffice.com.hk. There are a number of deadlines that are coming up, so I'm encouraging persons to inquire as soon as possible. There's one on the 15th of February for the National Taiwan University, March 7th for Taipei Medical University and the National Sun Yat-sen University in Taiwan. And then there's March 7th again for the University of Macau and Macau Institute of Tourism Studies. We're very active on our social media pages, and you can also find the contact information for WhatsApp and telephone if any persons are interested in speaking a bit more of the program or asking questions on how to apply.
For the full interview, visit all Twitter media platforms. In other news, this week, the highly anticipated 66th Recording Academy's Grammy Awards took place, where two Virgin Islanders took home Grammy Awards. They were U.S. Virgin Islander THERON Thomas and BV Islander DONELLE Smith. Thomas won the 2024 Songwriter of the Year award. He has several massive hits under his belt at the moment. Take a look at his reaction and acceptance speech.
Let's go! Listen, my name is THERON Thomas. This award is for my father. Let me tell you something. I lose my father about 3 years ago to cancer. My father told me when I was 9 years old, THERON, you gonna win a Grammy. And here's the show. My father was never a liar. The greatest man I ever lived. My manager, Ray. My wife, Aveda, I love you. My mother, my brother, all my friends, all my children. I don't wear them around my neck. I know I got 6 kids. And let me tell you something. I'm from a small island, 32 square miles. I moved to the States with $35 when I was 18. And I say, I gonna make it in music. I'm 41 years old. And guess what? Songwriter of the Year, let we go! Virgin Islands in this mother. I don't know how we'll go on.
Smith, an engineer and producer, won his Grammy Award for his work on the song track hit Barbie. Twitter Media extends congratulations to them both and continued success on their journeys. And viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily updates at tweetformedia.com, like us on Facebook at tweetformedia, and tweetforbvi on Instagram, X, and Threads. I'm Jacko Wooding, and I will see you again next week, so have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.